a shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
So hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, ahead, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's close in the counter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go. Quick, Lady. Go, go down.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and inches.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Got it.
Here's Carson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Hatchet. 36 power. We got go. Kill.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Dancing to his left. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
25.
From the shotgun, Wilson. His throw incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now it's Carson. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watch the twist. Look left.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make the play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 29, Newton, he's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Stop your whining. Everyone, we got 4 down.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Well, that big score all started with Cam being forced from the pocket, but when he's outside of the pocket, it doesn't really bother him.
And part of that is the word you use, big, right? He bought extra time by moving outside of the pocket, which means receivers can get downfield farther and Cam's got more than enough arm to find him, and we end up with a big play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Seahawks take over first down and 10.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over first down and 10. At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize...
There he goes, right side. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve. 8.
Newton to throw. That's to McCaffrey, complete. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
This is something that we expected to see. McCaffrey used out of the backfield. 107 catches in 2018, the most in one season by an NFL running back.
54 Mike. And come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
65.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Ezekiel Ansah racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
Check 20.
From the gun, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Gerald McCoy has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rashawn Golden. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a while.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. The former #1 overall pick Jadeveon Clowney in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Back to throw, Newton. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Extra point right down the middle. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Wilson. They'll find Metcalf. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Now for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they...
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf in the final seconds of the first half as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Now Myers for the extra point. And this is now a 1-point game.
Makes the score Panthers 21, Seahawks 20.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
Let's go, let's go.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. A final shot before the break. Newton. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Gun.
After the run, Newton going to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's 3rd and short.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Newton. Cam firing, he lost the football, it's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. K1 short. In there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away. Unsuccessful pass on 3rd down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Myers able to knock it through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. It's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back and forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep here for Bryant. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Right there. 54 miles.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Panthers are once again going to retake the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 5. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This complete to Lockett. 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys are able to regain the lead. To throw is Wilson.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On first and 10, Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing is Newton. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Newton, escaping the pressure right. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And we're back now in Charlotte. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Play action, it's Newton. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's McCaffrey. They find some open field here. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 12 on the year. As his guys have now moved out in front. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dontari Poe in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Gerald McCoy in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That one, a first down pickup of 8. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go one more.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks called a second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back.
Here we go. Here we go. Check, 54. Rip left.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter.
Hey, let's get them home. 54.
On the ground, McCaffrey spinning away, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back him up 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 36 yards out. And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Match by 4. Go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. Go, 14. 54 Mike. 54 Mike.
He'll look to throw. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
What? Come on, 90. Check, 59. Hey, come on now, come on now. Let's go double count right here, double count. Check, 59. Let's go. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Damn.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson, that's caught by Howard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 29-yard line.